Justin Tucker set to boom this one away. And off we go from M&T Bank Stadium. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. Leading them out, the fifth-year Auburn alum got his first career starts last season. Here's Jarrett Stidham.
For a brief time, he was thought to be a possible successor to Tom Brady while he was still in New England, but that didn't materialize. But opportunity may still knock for him to start in the NFL today. Definitely has the arm and mobility to make plays against NFL defenses. All he needs now is consistency.
Stidham's throw taken in by Sutton. Loose inside the 30. Inside the 10. And all the way home for a Bronco score. Cortland Sutton, 75 yards. And the Broncos are on the board first on the road here in Baltimore. Lutz with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Returning it, Justice Hill. The Ravens offense going to work, and as usual, it's Lamar Jackson, the former MVP of the league, at the helm.
And the tendency for most of these guys is to want to match things right away because they have a lot of confidence in their talent, too. They just saw a big strike against their team, and you know they're thinking to themselves, I can get this back right now on one play. Well, if it's there, you take it, but otherwise, just go ahead and calm your team down, run the offense, get things going, and see how things settle in. Partner doesn't seem like it, but that's a tough spot for a kicker. First drive of the game, and they're calling on him. He should be warmed up. He should be into the game, but sometimes it's almost like, oh, what, now already? Can't they put it in the end zone? What's going on here?
Yeah, and he's probably saying, if you can't get it in the end zone, can you give me a 30, 40-yarder? A long one, and he can't connect. They'll try and run it in with Burton. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. To throw is Stidham. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I know every offense wants to start their snaps closer to the goal line, but it's actually harder to throw the ball in those situations. You throw into that tight coverage, you see what happens. Hard to get the ball in there.
Not enough. And Williams is in for a Bronco touchdown. It's a 1-yard touchdown run, and the Broncos have taken a 13-0 first quarter lead. Lutz will look to add the extra point. The PAT up and good, but hold on a second. There is a flag.
Personal foul, roughing the kicker, defense.
And they'll accept that penalty. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. Don't quite know what's happening here. It's a first down, but the field goal team is out onto the field. Tucker's kick is good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. Unbelievable. Justin Tucker has done it again. He ties his own NFL record with another 66-yard field goal.
Another incredible kick by Justin Tucker. And let's face it, he doesn't surprise us anymore, does he? I still remember seeing the replays of the first one in 2021 at Detroit, bouncing off the crossbar and going through. This guy is flat out amazing.
not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And Denver getting set to take the field. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Now it's Stidham. That is incomplete.
Well, you've got a receiver here who's got 1 touchdown already in this first quarter, and they were trying to double his pleasure there. Wanted to continue to go to the guys already gotten into the end zone. But good coverage and make sure that this time it fell incomplete.
Stidham hit, and he lost it. Oh, one of the linemen on the other side has got it. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
They go play action with Jackson. And that one going to come up short. Low throw.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Flushed out right. And he is going to be run down. What a disaster there. A huge loss. Now a pause, and there's an injured Raven in need of some assistance. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. And a strange one here, a little befuddled. They're sending out the field goal unit now.
A very long attempt.
And this is good. It was running kind of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. So that, a good kick. We haven't talked about it much, but the wind is prevalent, and he drove that right into the wind.
Yeah, and don't forget the wind can swirl down there, too, so being able to read it, how it's coming, left to right, right to left, and to be able to execute that kick, that's pretty darn strong right there.
And now a whistle and a timeout called by the kicking team. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Boy, a little panic here early. A first quarter onside kick. And this one travels out of bounds, so unsuccessful there on the onside kick try.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
Well, not one you see often there as he fails to keep it between the sidelines, and that is a penalty every time, and going to give this offense better field position.
And it's every kickoff guy's nightmare, isn't it? Because you don't see yourself doing this, and most of the time you don't. It's absolutely a mishit, and now your team pays the price. Bad field position for your defense.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
At the 42-yard line.
Now it's Stidham. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Oh, one of the linemen on the other side has got it. Second time in this game, Charles, the ball is squirted out from his hands. Luckily, his teammate was there to pounce on him.
You're right. Got the lucky bounce, able to retain possession. You know,
Stidham hit, and he lost it. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And down inside the red zone at the 19-yard line.
but that's a down and distance coaches always talk about trying to avoid, isn't it? I mean, that's 3rd and long, and you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming after him, sometimes even with extra pressure.
And He knew that. I mean, he knew they were coming. He just fumbled it.
Yeah, he knew it. The offensive line knew it. Everyone did, yet the pressure was still there, and he ended up coughing it up.
And he goes out of bounds without getting rid of it. A big loss there, and it goes down as a sack as well. My word, it'll be nothing short of a monstrous loss on the play, and that's going to bring up a second and forever. And a strange one here, a little befuddled. They're sending out the field goal unit now. And supreme confidence in the kicker turns to supreme failure, as that is obviously no good. And that will keep the lead at 8. Mr. Davis, you're a football lifer, my friend. You've called games at the highest level. You know head coaches inside and out. Please explain that one to me. Speechless. So now, just like that, things change dramatically. It's 1st and goal. Stidham. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, give some credit to the defense. They forced the big play, knocked the ball free from him, but it's a cardinal sin by the quarterback. Know where you are on the field, and he just gave up at a minimum 3 points.
And instead of getting down, takes the contact. The turnover ensues. It's a loss of 14 that time, and it'll be a 2nd and long.
Brings up 2nd down.
And a strange one here, a little befuddled. They're sending out the field goal unit now.
Very long attempt.
And did he have enough? He did. He kept it on line and managed to tuck it into the bottom right corner. And that'll get the lead down to 5. So that one is his 3rd of the game. Now, if you're wondering, that's only halfway to his career high, as he once had 6 field goals.
Brandon, but 6? Let's hope we don't get that again, please. Can we see a few touchdowns here and there?
That'd be nice. And this one travels out of bounds, so unsuccessful there on the onside kick try.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking.
So now the possession will begin at the 35 after the errant kickoff.
Well, that's certainly one way to avoid a dangerous kick returner, I suppose, but you are giving up extra yardage, that's for sure. Because if you put it out of the end zone, they start at the 25. So
Williams loses the football. Oh, one of the linebackers has got it. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line.
whenever I see it.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble.
They go play action now. Stidham. This one complete to Jerry Jeudy. And a crossover out of bounds right at the 25. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run. Off the play fake. Here's Stidham. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. And now 3 drives, 3 fumbles.
What's amazing about it is when we go around and watch practices, how many times do we see them put that sleeve over a football now to make it more slippery and hard to handle? It's almost like they're playing with that sleeve on the ball right now. Was that 3 drives?
Yep.
3 fumbles?
3 fumbles.
It's time to change our luck some way, somehow. Focus, concentration, you'll hear those words on the bench in a big way right now.
So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Off the play fake, here's Jackson. That's going deep for Bateman. It's caught inside the 25. It's a big play there for Baltimore. 43 yards.
sometimes. I'm just scratching my head here trying to figure out what was going on there defensively. How did you lose him in the middle of the field? If you're going to lose a receiver, make sure it's someone on the short side of things, not deep downfield, that can hurt your defense.
He is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
Partner, the good ones have a clock running in their head, okay, because it says something like this: I've got this many seconds to find a target. After that, I have to tuck it and try and get some yardage on this first down snap. He doesn't just...
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Lamar Jackson keeping it himself from 7 yards out, and the Ravens have taken the lead.
This defense, so many things to worry about in the red zone area, but you'd have to almost think that Lamar Jackson running the football, that might be number one.
It should be number one, and in this portion of the field where things shrink a little bit because the receivers can't run past anyone because they'll run out of real estate, you should have all eyes on Lamar Jackson when the ball is snapped and try and keep him back in the pocket.
Yeah, I don't think that they were surprised he was running it there. They just couldn't stop him, and he ends up in the end zone.
And the Broncos are going to get the football. So an onside kick fail in the first quarter. Not sure I completely see the logic there.
It's not apparent, is it? You almost have to go deeper, I think, and maybe if we try and work along with them and speculate a little bit here, they most likely need to steal possessions in this game, or maybe they don't match up possession for possession with the opposite team. They got to steal it and try and gain an advantage, and they tried. They just didn't get it done.
Now Stidham on second down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. And a defensive-minded coach loves to turn up the heat, turns it up there, and pays off.
And back in the good old days, those defensive-minded coaches just talked about intimidating teams, using force, right, beating them to the punch. In this case, they're talking about creating turnovers. That's all they preach, all game long, all practice long, every meeting. Get the football. That's what they want.
So able to add on to their first half lead here, Charles, forcing the miscue with a fumble and then turning that into 3 points.
Yeah, and more than happy to accept any mistakes the other side is willing to make. No problem. You turn it over, we'll take that, and we'll use it to expand our lead.
And this one travels out of bounds, so unsuccessful there on the onside kick try.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
Well, you don't see that often. He just mishit it, and it goes out of bounds.
Well, I know sitting up here, and I'm looking at you, and you're looking at me, and I know we're both thinking the same thing. Isn't it easy enough to keep it between the sidelines? Because unless you're intentionally doing it for some reason, well, that's a costly mishit, and now you put your team in a bad spot.
Stidham hit, and he lost it.
Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it.
And they have the football, and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. A defensive-minded coach loves to bring the heat, brought the heat there, and it worked out.
And nowadays, all those defensive-minded coaches, for them, it's all about getting the football. I went into one facility, and as soon as you walked into the defensive room, there was a football, like on a spring, and each guy that walks in that plays has to act like he's knocking the ball free. They want those instincts created. They want them to think about that all the time, and that's what they try to preach.
My goodness, it'll be a disastrous loss on the play, and that's going to bring up a second and about a mile here. And a strange one here, a little befuddled. They're sending out the field goal unit now. And as is to be expected, this is nowhere near being good from that distance. And they'll be unable to build here onto their 5-point lead. Well, he had that one on target. That's half the battle. The other half of the battle, however, is distance.
And he nearly had that, too. But it was the crossbar that said otherwise, and that'll deny him a shot at 3.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal.
Williams will take it in. Touchdown, Denver. So they brought the extra bulk in down on the 1-yard line, and they're able to push this one across.
Yeah, I can just see your face right now because I know we're mind melding on this one.
Oh, this is blocked. That's a line ball scooped up by the offense. But call it luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you retain possession, that's all you're looking for.
And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. And Baltimore's offense set for this next possession.
We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now, but let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.